Head coach John McKay's back is seldom turned on his Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But on this afternoon on Florida's Gulf Coast, his attention is focused on a group of visitors from the AFC's Central Division. The Cleveland Browns are in Tampa Bay for what might be called a must game. In order to stay alive in their division with both Pittsburgh and Houston, Cleveland must win all non-division contests. Last season, Sam Ratigliano's Browns won no less than 7 games in the fourth period or overtime. Truly the comeback kids. But through the first 3 games of 1980, the Browns have lost their spark and are off to a sluggish start. The draft added yet more offense with Heisman Trophy winner Charles White, and a trade for All-Pro guard Joe DeLamielleure is designed to keep the heat off quarterback Brian Sipe. Sipe's counterpart on the Bucs is Doug Williams, who frequently comes off a high one week to a low the next. His inconsistency is partly due to his style as a high-risk, low-percentage passer. He came off an impressive high performance the week before in Dallas. The Buccaneers' schedule has been upgraded since they made the playoffs last year, and only wins over contenders like Cleveland will ensure their return to the playoffs come December. For the Browns, their trip to Florida will be no day at the beach as they take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the NFL Game of the Week. Tampa Bay has never established itself as a ball-control team. According to Coach John McKay, there is no reason to. When they score, it's usually with the big play variety. Yet in the first period of play, they would control the ball like never before. Utilizing running backs Ricky Bell and Jerry Eckwood, number 43, quarterback Doug Williams began cautiously with a conservative running game. Feeling out the Browns' inexperienced 3-4 defensive alignment, Williams mixed the run with the short pass. Williams then completed a routine pass to tight end Jimmy Giles, number 88. What wasn't routine is where Giles lined up as the up back in the I formation. The Browns' 3-4 alignment as yet lacks the experienced nose tackle to anchor it. The mobile Doug Williams had more than enough time to seek out receivers near the midfield sideline. Wide receiver Larry Mucker, number 87, was immediately forced out of bounds, while Gordon Jones, number 84, avoided it altogether. Despite the early success of the Buccaneer passing game, Cleveland linebackers were instructed to remain cautious, avoid the blitz, and move laterally with the offensive flow. Ricky Bell's penetration was negated by penalties, and on 3rd and long, Williams again looked for Larry Mucker. While Tampa Bay was denied 6 points, they accepted 3. Garo Yepremian proved that his foot was still a valuable asset. From Miami to New Orleans to Tampa Bay, the Southern traveler from Cyprus was nothing short of perfect. Cleveland's second possession of the first period was short-lived. Charles White, number 25, coming off a 2-touchdown performance the week before against Kansas City, got outside quickly, but with little blocking managed just 2 yards. He fared no better up the middle. The Browns' struggle to develop any kind of momentum was sidetracked again when a Sipe to Reggie Rucker connection was interrupted at the Cleveland 31. Another number 33, strong safety Mark Cotney, gave the Bucs their 3rd possession of the period. Play action and a quick rollout allowed Williams an unobstructed view to the 15-yard line and Gordon Jones, number 84. Inside the Cleveland 10, the Browns employed a 5-man line. Ricky Bell then looked to the outside for the Buck initial touchdown. A holding penalty nullified the score and brought in Garo Yepremian. The 4th down field goal had Tampa Bay up by 6. Yet the Buccaneers ran 35 first-period plays to the Browns' 10. A lot of effort for such a narrow lead. Much of that effort was Ricky Bell's. With attention leaning toward Bell, Tampa Bay looked to Isaac Hagan's number 81. Hagan's reverse ended at the Brown 25-yard line. After 3 more plays, the Buccaneer drive ended there also. Garo Yepremian's field goal attempt was wide, and Cleveland went back to the board to shift momentum their way. Mike Pruitt registered the Browns' longest running play of the game thus far, 8 yards. Not much, but a start. Brian Sipe, 0 for 6 passing for the half, looked for his start. His target, Willis Adams, number 80. Not spectacular, but a start. Cleveland's frontline receivers, including number 85, Dave Logan, had not yet touched the ball for the first 20 minutes of play. But when Brian Sipe's pocket broke down, he broke out of it, and Logan broke the ice at the Tampa 22. Like Tampa Bay, the Browns came a long way for little reward. They too stalled inside the 20. Enter Don Cockcroft, only the 3rd place kicker in Cleveland history. The 35-yard field goal narrowed the Buccaneer lead to 3. John McKay's intentions to widen the gap were simple. Forget the ball control and return to what Doug Williams does best, go long. Pass interference plus 1 or 2 tosses of the flag put the Bucs in Cleveland territory. In just 30 seconds and 3 plays, Tampa Bay went 73 yards, accented by Gordon Jones, number 84, for a 10-point Tampa lead. South Florida can be a furnace in late September, an inferno if you're down 10 points. Brian Sipe had yet to find a weakness in the Buccaneer front line, opting instead to throw over it. Reggie Rucker felt the heat out in the open, while rookie Charles White found it equally uncomfortable in a crowd. Reggie Rucker continued to hold on and extend the Browns' most efficient drive of the afternoon, finalized by Charles White, running behind the newly acquired Joe DeLamalure, number 64. Much of the Browns' ability to finally penetrate the Buccaneer front was due to the containment of number 63, Tampa's Leroy Selman, often called the most dominant defensive lineman in the game. It took the elder statesman of the Cleveland offensive line to stop him. Doug Deacon, number 73, neutralized Selman on short passing plays and running plays alike. With Selman contained, Brian Sipe went to the Browns' senior partner in the offensive backfield, Calvin Hill, number 35. Inexplicably, the 2-minute warning strikes a motivating chord with Brian Sipe, who went deep to one of his come-from-behind partners, number 33, Reggie Rucker. Time again for the senior partner, Calvin Hill. The second Cleveland touchdown gave the Browns their first lead and a taste of a little comeback magic. "30 points were scored in the first half, with 31 more on the way. Browns took the field carrying a message for the home Buccaneers. That message: last year you fed off the soft underbelly of the NFL, winning because of a weak schedule. The price for your success is contending with powerhouse teams like us. Tampa's response: nonsense. We won our division because we had the #1 defense in the entire NFL. Early in the third period, both teams dramatically displayed their conflicting opinions. The Browns got the best of the hitting, allowing the Bucs but a single first down in the entire third period, while Brian Sipe endeavored to extend Cleveland's 17-13 lead. A mighty collision between Mike Pruitt and linebacker Cecil Johnson resulted. Mike Pruitt survived his collision. On the next play, Brian Sipe would not. Dave Logan's sack was the one and only time Sipe would be nailed for a loss in the game. Yet it came at a costly time for the Browns as their 10-play drive was halted out of field goal range. However, after a shanked Tom Blanchard punt, the Browns were in business once more. Sipe went play action to counteract the Bucs' defensive charge. Sipe's play faking froze the vaunted Tampa defense, providing Mike Pruitt with one-on-one coverage with a linebacker, a sound offensive strategy Sipe continued to use. Sipe had lulled the Bucs into thinking he would exploit them underneath their coverage. His next pass, however, jarred them awake abruptly. Willis Adams was on the receiving end of Sipe's deep surprise. Forced to play behind teammates Reggie Rucker and Dave Logan last year, Adams, the Browns' #1 pick in 1979, hopes to play a greater role this season, as does fellow reserve receiver Ricky Feature, number 83. Feature's touchdown catch is evidence of the depth Cleveland has at the wide receiver position. He, along with Rucker, Logan, Newsome, and Adams, provides Sipe with excellent targets. On this day, Brian would use 9 different receivers, flexibility that helped the Browns boost their lead to 11 late in the third quarter. Sipe, the AFC's most valuable player last year, rejoined the Cleveland huddle and proceeded to do what counterpart Doug Williams had failed to do in the second half: move the football. The Buc defense primed for the attack, but Sipe's play-action faking and number 43 Mike Pruitt again loosened them up. With Tampa's linebackers taking the deep drop, anticipating the fake handoff, the job of 1,000-yard rusher Pruitt was made a great deal easier. The injury to Buc nose guard Randy Crowder helped the Browns' running game as well. This time, Greg Pruitt flashed through for a big game. Another look at the oft-injured Greg Pruitt reveals the quickness and agility of this truly remarkable runner when healthy. Strong running and deceptive faking allowed Sipe to move in once more for the kill, this time to seasoned Calvin Hill. Some critics scoffed when the Browns acquired the now 11-year veteran in 1978, claiming Hill was both aging and slowing down. A repeat reveals that Hill is still most capable of doing what he has done 57 times in his career: plow over defenders for the score. Hill's touchdown capped a 318-yard passing day for Sight, marking the first time in Buccaneer history that any quarterback had ever pierced the 300-yard barrier against them. As well, Sight completed 13 in a row for a club record. Trailing by 18, young Doug Williams went to work sensibly, utilizing the short pass. Gary Davis and Gordon Jones netted key first down yardage, but then Williams grew impatient, and he went for the home run. Clint Burrell's second interception of the day proved Williams' decision most unjudicious. Dave Logan and the Browns basked in the warm sun and their seemingly insurmountable lead. But like the Florida weather, how quickly things can change as the Bucs took over once more. Ron Bolton's sticky end zone coverage stymied Williams for the time being. Wisely, the young quarterback guided his team more conservatively. Gary Davis's catch kept the Buck drive alive, as did a clutch Williams run on fourth down. Williams needed 3 and gained 8. Then once again he became consumed by the thought of forcing the big play. Kevin House made the reception out of bounds as Cleveland's nickel defense appeared impenetrable. And then it happened, the most bizarre play of the game. Watch what transpires after number 43, Jerry Eckwood, makes the catch and nears the Browns' goal line. Apparently, Eckwood had fumbled quite magically into the waiting hands of number 88, Jimmy Giles, for a Buccaneer touchdown. The officials, however, ruled it an illegal forward pass done intentionally by Eckwood. Here's another look. You be the referee. Was Eckwood lateraling forward, or was it simply a fumble? Instead of a touchdown, the Bucs faced a 1st and goal from the 6. Williams wasted little time in taking them in. A knockdown fan in the troublesome net punctuated the score as another look reveals that Williams rifled into an end zone of white shirts and somehow came out a winner. Gordon Jones' score brought the home team to within 11, but after a Cockcroft field goal, Williams faced a 14-point deficit with less than 2 minutes remaining. Newly acquired Don Good was called for unnecessary roughness, adding 15 yards to Eckwood's already sizable gain. Williams capitalized immediately. Williams and Eckwood combined once more to bring the tenacious Bucks to within a touchdown with less than a minute remaining. The Browns knew an onside kick was imminent, hoping to recover and run out the clock. Enter the cagey little veteran, Garo Yepremian. The Bucks miraculously recovered, and with no timeouts remaining, Williams had one last gasp attempt to bring about sudden death. Jimmy Giles made the clutch catch, but time had finally run out on the Bucks. Still numb, the Browns had nearly seen the game slip through their fingers, and the rush of victory had not yet taken hold. As John McKay and the Bucks exited, they were faced with the grim fact that the heartbreaking loss dropped them 2 games off the division lead. One can only surmise as to the nature of the one-liners McKay had in mind as he made his way to the locker room.